we are not aware of any public school district here in Connecticut openly making changes to diversity programs despite the Friday deadline. Pulling the plug on diversity programs. It's the new guidance from the Trump administration in schools and colleges across the U.S.
There's a lot of concern about what does this mean? How could we be so devalued?
The directive came in the form of a letter on February 14th, giving schools 2 weeks to end policies that treat students differently based on race or risk losing federal funding. But Connecticut Education Association President Kate Diaz says the instruction is not a mandate.
The federal government actually does not have legal standing to tell local administrations they have to disband those efforts, because those are efforts that are dictated by local board policy, which supersede sort of federal rhetoric.
The Connecticut Board of Education backs up that claim. It sent a letter of its own Wednesday night informing schools that federal funding cannot be terminated without a multi-step legal process involving a hearing. And so far, the state's largest teachers union is not aware of any local districts changing curriculum or policy. But if they do, the union is ready for a fight. Here's the advice they're telling teachers.
Our direction to our teachers has been, you don't change your behavior, you don't change your curriculum, you don't change your activities unless you're directed to do that at the local level. And if our local municipalities kind of start putting that pressure on, then we'll have to go into a space where we challenge that authority as well.
And as schools scramble to respond to this latest threat, educators say they are also bracing for bold budget cuts at the Department of Education, a move that will have long-lasting ripple effects.
We have Congress being asked to cut $880 billion from the education budget at the national level. That's an action we should all be scared about, because that is legal. You know, Congress has the power of the purse. If they choose not to spend the money on education, they don't have to.
And if those federal cuts happen as planned, it could impact programs for students with disabilities who are guaranteed services by law. That means if federal funding is stripped away, the burden would fall on local school districts and taxpayers to make up the difference. In studio, Bridget Bjorlo, Fox 61.